from Brands promises to be no different. Hold on tight. Spy-bait scale replicas of American coupes and sedans from the 1930s. Chevrolets, Fords, all powered by a Yamaha engine kicking out 250 brake horsepower per tonne. Top two champions are back in 98. The 96 champion on the left, Tick Stewart, on the right, Paul Hughes from 97. Now, is he feeling the pressure this year?
Yeah, a little bit. Early on in the year, when all the points were obviously level, I was pushing really hard. I had 4 really good meetings, won the first 4 meetings, gained myself a bit of a lead.
What's your track record like here at Brands?
All right, I won all 3 races last time out here. Yeah, I really like the track. I only live half hour away. Done a bit of testing here, so I'm looking, you know, hopefully I might be able to do it. I've got competition with Steve Thompson there. Tick Stewart on the pace now, and there's a lot of other people. John Mickle, he's going well. So there could be, I mean, there's a handful of drivers, 6, 7 drivers who could make it tough.
In the past, we've done extremely well. We've won all 3 races here previously. You know, after Croft, we are severely bent the chassis, so we've had a lot of time in the workshop getting it all jigged out and back together. But in practice, it went well. We had a little bit of push on the left-hand corners, but we're planning for hopefully a very successful one today. We need it for the points. Everyone's slowly creeping up on us. I think we've been a little bit too conservative in our racing, so we've really got to go for it today.
We're a bit relaxed here, Tick, before the race, but surely the tension's going to start building soon, isn't it?
I don't think there is any tension, really. I mean, yeah, it's really good. Sun's shining. Can't ask for a better day at Brands Hatch. I mean, I think the Legend's going to be really good today. There's a lot of strong competition. I was 3rd quickest in lap times, but I've got to let them win something.
Now, you've got a good record here. You planning to give it to them?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sort of 3 wins in the Legend and 2 wins in the V6, but I think I've got more chance of flying up in a helicopter. I've got Steve up the inside of me, so and I've got Paul, I think, 2 behind me, so I mean, first bend should be lively. It's sort of tighten your seatbelts and hold tight.
OK, Tick, we will tighten our seatbelts and hold tight. Tick Stewart starting from the inside of the 3rd row in the 11 car. We're on board here with Steve Thompson on the outside. Oh, he nearly takes his teammate out. Lars Christian Brass there, just jinking round the outside of him as they tumble their way down Paddock Hill Bend. Running out wide there in the 66 car, that's Dave Cox, but let's see how they all fan out round Druids. It's a cracking start by both Steve Thompson in the yellow and blue 41 Team Brass machine. Tick Stewart's also got a cracker, he's 11, and the light blue car there is coming down the hill on the outside of 17, Richard Nelson. Well, the light blue car is Paul Hughes. Look to for the number 7 of Sean McLaughlin. He's up there fighting for championship aspirations as well. And what a cracking sight they make through Surtees and sweeping right-handed. Ooh, all scrambling for a bit of track position. Can they find it? Well, wide out there, Richard Nelson. Ooh, very, very nearly. Just running out too far wide, and he has run out too far wide. Is Mark Hobbs. Oh, in the kitty litter again. Well, back on the main straight at the end of this opening tour, and Paul Hughes, the 1997 championship winner on the inside there going through. 94, that's the Nigel Kelsey machine, and he's been passed by quite a few, in fact dropping him back down into about 7th, 8th position. They all stream through, and in the background there, Lars Christian Brask is a spinner at Paddock. There he is. Well, he should be able to rejoin from there, but look at this great scrap going on out front. Steve Thompson leads, Tick Stewart through. Look at the amount of curbing there that Ticky Boy takes as he comes through. Oh, and that's the champion. Oh, Paul Hughes has spun it out now. There may well have been contact there. We didn't quite see that, but let's just focus at the clear track that Steve Thompson has ahead. We heard both Steve and the man right behind him there, Tick Stewart, say earlier on, they both want 3 wins here to help them reel in the slight advantage that Paul Hughes has got at the top of the table. And there, right in the very background, is Paul Hughes. That's Peter Martin going through in 32. Look at them. Oversteer there that Richard Nelson's got there side by side for a fight over Druids, and Stewart is through. Oh, it's a brilliant manoeuvre by Tick Stewart. That's Gary Thomas running through in 55, having his own battle down the field. John Mickle goes through, and here's Paul Hughes trying to get back on terms. It's only a 6-lap race this, so there aren't many opportunities for him to get through on the Indy circuit here, the amphitheatre at Brands Hatch in Kent. And, oh, well, that's Lars Christian Brask retiring. A newcomer to the series, Steve Pearce, out for his first ever race in Legends this weekend. Enjoying himself. Oh, and, well, there's a man who's got to eat humble pie. It's Ian Pye off on the exit of McLeod's Up front though, terrific strap going on. Look at the oversteer. Watch him work away at that wheel. Great onboard action from the legends. And swooping left and right, and this time he might just get to the inside. On the left, Steve Thompson. On the outside, it's Tick Stewart, and Thompson's through. Oh, well, Tick, you put the old welcome mat down there. It's fighting back on the outside. Talking about fighting Richard Nelson in 17 there, trying to keep it going in a straight line, but at the moment the car's just getting the better of him, I think. But he's enjoying himself, that's the main thing. That's what Legends Racing's all about. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's great action, great entertainment, particularly up front here between Steve Thompson in 41 and in the ADR car, number 11, Tick Stewart. Paul Hughes picks up another place. That will worry them. Oh, he's lost a gear. He's missed a gear there, Steve Thompson. He fumbled about and he came up with a box full of neutrals. And watch to the right-hand side, there is Stewart emerging. Well, look at that. The body language from Steve Thompson. He knows he's made a mistake. I don't repeat what's going on under that visor, in that helmet, in that little Legend. Not much room to work, but Thompson there, certainly an error. And will that cost him second place in the championship, which is where he lies at the moment? Look at him now, really trying. Oh, he's not happy. He is not happy, Steve Thompson, in that car. They're happy though. Darren Hills again tries to hang the back end out. We rejoin the leaders on bottom straight. Cooper straight. Oh, and the spinner is Dave Cox. Spins his car out, holds his hand up because he's worried that somebody else would try and reel him in. But look at this now, we've got a three-way battle for the lead because Sean McLaughlin in the Arco car's joined in. He's reeled them in. Now, can he get past Thompson? Thompson now has got to worry not only about catching and passing Tick Stewart, but also protecting. Now, here's the mistake. Watch his hand. He goes down, he completely misses the gear shift, and that cost him that lead position. And it's also put him back into the clutches of Sean McLaughlin. McLaughlin's been a great force in the championship this year, regular on the podium, and many times on the top slot as well. Now, let's see how this unfolds as we're in the closing stages. Tick Stewart goes down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Still, they're fighting out from the lower positions. There is Paul Hughes. He's not managed, at the moment he's running down his 7th position, and that's going to severely dent his hope of points. But look how hard Thompson is working. Talk about the red mist. I think it's a scarlet mist that's come down in that 41 car. Steve Thompson trying everything he knows as they come towards the final corner this time, and he's getting behind him. He's trying to draft him onto the main straight. The checkered flags in hand. They're side by side towards the line. Oh, on the line. Who got it? Who got it? Oh, I'll tell you who's not got it. Paul Hughes spins it out on the final corner. What high drama here at Brands Hatch. Unbelievable stuff. Well, there's one man who's very, very happy. Steve Thompson.
Me and Tick was all over each other like a rash through that race, and I see the last lap ball out. I thought, right, I've got to try and get something. He managed to pull a small lead. Just coming into the start-finish straight, just managed to get a drag on him, got next to him, and I'm looking at his front bumper to see who's first across the line. I still don't know who won.
Tick, delighted with that result? Oh, absolutely delighted. Every result was a good result, and I mean, Paul was such clean driving. We swapped places 2 or 3 times, I believe, in that race. And every time he give me the benefit of the doubt, I give him the benefit of the doubt. You can't get much closer now. We come off the last turn at Clearways, and I just couldn't quite get it right. And I knew what he was going to do. When I went by him, I thought, you're going to draft me on the last lap, and he did do it. And I was hoping to pull him by, but I mean, I think it was like an inch of a bumper, I think.
Well, for this second encounter of 2, Steve Thompson and Tick Stewart will start side by side on the grid. The car's already on their way to the start line. Red lights are on. Tick and Steve, incidentally, back on row 7 of the grid. Now, here is Thompson, and there goes the green light. What a cracking start by Thompson. Look at him changing down through that Yamaha gearbox. Mike Ives is the man out front in 8, sweeping through. There is Thompson in 41. We're back on board with him. Oh, back some understeer, back some oversteer, mate. That snatched another gear, and he's to the inside of Stewart this time. These two are having a titanic struggle. There is Paul Hughes in 1 now. He desperately needs a good finish after finishing down in 7th place in the first race of 3 here. Well, what can he do about it? Here we're on board with Thompson. Look at him already 4th. He started way back on the inside of the 7th row. Unbelievable stuff. And this time Mike Ives being challenged. Sean McLaughlin round the outside. McLaughlin goes through and he's on the grass. Oh, where is he going? Bouncy, bouncy. Get back on the black bit, Sean. And Ives will go through to take the lead. Thompson now 3rd. Darren Hills has had a good start. He's in, something like 4th or 5th place. There's Mark Hobbs going through. Thompson just checks over his shoulder what's going on, and he's going to snatch that 3rd place away. What a cracking first lap, can you believe it? We've got four of the championship contenders, the four championship contenders out front. McLaughlin sees Paul Hughes go round the outside of him. Well, Hughes, he's such a master here at Brands. Oh, and no, and Lars Christian Brass spun it in the gravel again. Oh, he's really clobbered there by Mark Hobbs. I hope those two are okay. There looks to be severe damage to the front right corner of Mark Hobbs' machine. We saw him go off in the opening encounter. He's off again this time, but look at this battle for third going on. It's the O rivals. Marshall's just attending to those drivers. They're both okay. We can see them moving. They're just waiting for the signal that it's safe to get out the car. And with this lot going at it, hammer and tongs, who can blame them? The order now then, Hughes, McLaughlin and Thompson, and Stewart is spun around. He's contacted by Mike Ives, and that's put him out. Ives is rejoining. Well, Tick Stewart will rue that. He's going to be back there, right down the field. He rejoins in 6th place, and in fact the black and yellows are out. Now, there's the black and yellows. That means the whole field must slow down, and that will be because of that incident down there at Paddock Hill turn. The field streaming through the race order. Hughes, McLaughlin, Thompson, then Darren Hills. There's Richard Nelson, and behind in 6th spot, Tick Stewart. No overtaking while these yellow and blacks are out, and that is to make sure, for the Marshals' sake, that they can safely remove those vehicles. Well, the Marshals have now got the vehicles removed, but we've been under the black and yellows now. It's the final lap, and that will see a result declared. And there is one of those vehicles being taken away by the rescue unit. Mark Hobbs, one of the rescue guys. I'm not sure about that wheel hanging down there. That doesn't look quite right. Oh, put under it. Oh, hello. Oh, hold on tight. My word. Well, that was a scary moment, wasn't it? Well, the cars are out for race 3, and we've got all the hot legend action for you here on the Fast Tracks right after this break. Don't go away now. Welcome back to the Fast Tracks. I'm Paul Marcel, and we are at Brands Hatch in Kent for our third and climactic Legends encounter. One absentee is Mark Hobbs in the number 3 car, but the racing is underway. Lights have gone green. John Mickle in red 4 on the outside, a whole gaggle of them going into Paddock Hill turn. There's not enough room, and Richard Nelson nearly took his eye out there. Oh, Darren Hills is in the gravel. Everybody carries on. Remarkably, so too does Nelson, who's just gone absolutely riding over the top. Rough shot of the man in front of him. No intent, I don't think. Ian Pye locks up a wheel around the outside of Druids. Let's just try and catch our breath if ever we dare. It's an 8-lap race, and out front at the moment, Dave Cox in 66. Mike Ives there in 2nd. Great scrap going on with John Mickle in the red 4. All of the contenders streaming through. That's Lars Christian Brask in 22, the Dane based in London, the merchant banker. And he'll be hoping for a good performance here. He's been out in the gravel in the first 2 encounters, but here we are up front. Cox leads Mickle. There is the 32 car of Peter Martin at Clearways, and we're on board with Steve Thompson. Now, Thompson's had 2 cracking races. The second one shortened, of course, by that problem in the gravel trap at Paddock. But look at him get the power on. I'll tell you what, he's absolutely screaming, that Yamaha engine. Well, incredible stuff. Gets to take a big, huge amount of curve, leans on as he goes through. I'm not surprised he's shaking his head there. Right behind in the wheel tracks of Paul Hughes ahead of him. Hughes is on 1997 champ, remember, and ahead of Hughes in the fluorescent pink and blue car is Sean McLaughlin. McLaughlin there side by side with Gary Thomas onto bottom straight, and McLaughlin will pick up another spot. That will move him up into 4th. Make that 3rd. He's round the outside of Mike Ives as well. Oh, he's on the grass again. Agricultural Motoring, and Peter Martin's in a tangle with Simon Durrell, the mixed 96 car, all in a shambles. And McLaughlin rejoins. Come on, but it's not much time here for breath, is there? Here we are on board with Steve Thompson. This time to the inside. He's going to take 4th away from McLaughlin. Well, McLaughlin fights back on the outside. 6 cars dicing it out for 4th place. Well, everybody wants to be 3rd now. There's Mike Ives in the blue 8 on the inside. Down. Look at the gravel scrattered on there from that early incident. Here we are. There you go. Left, go right. Try and find a gap if you dare. Thompson to the inside, and Ives spins round McLaughlin. Oh, and Thompson's contacted. Mind the cars coming towards us. Left and right. Thompson spins it round, shifts it into gear. Superb stuff from Steve Thompson. What a master at his craft. Oh, he's not pleased again, is he? Oh, Stevie boy, what have you got to do, eh? That's dumped him down the order. 3rd lap now, and he's back in 7th. He was, remember, challenging for the top spot Also involved in that, of course, Sean McLaughlin, and that's dumped him right down to 11th. Side-by-side battle, Tick Stewart. Well, we saw Stewart almost taken out by Mike Ives. Mike Ives this time gives him a bit wider berth, but up front, at the moment, it is the red fort of John Mickle. Well, that's Simon Durrell. Looks like he's retiring. But here we are, back on board with Thompson. Listen to that engine working. Oh, he's not a happy boy, is he, Tomo? Well, up front, a change for the lead round the outside. Let's have a look. This is the first lap incident. Richard Nelson there goes absolutely over the top of it looked to be Simon Durrell's car in 96. Darren Hills takes avoiding action and goes into the gravel, but we're back with the leaders. Lap 4, and Paul Hughes is through. We saw the start of that manoeuvre, but look at Mickle challenging back. Looks left to right, up into third place now has come Tick Stewart in the 11 car. Just look at these cars working. The drivers, masses of oversteer, brilliant fun, and great racecraft. Here's Hughes coming through to complete yet another lap. Takes the high line. Look at Mickle, down on the inside line. Some drivers will tell you that's a quicker line here at Brands Hatch, but in a Legend, well, any line will do so long as it will get you across the line ahead of the man who you're fighting it out with. And Sean McLaughlin talking about fighting up. He's picked up a place. That'll move him up now into 9th position. And through and round at Druids they go. Look at him behind. That's Thompson back on the chart. Well, Steve Thompson, we said he dropped down to 8th place. Make that 7th place. He's now back up into 5th, I think. We'll just check that for you as they come back into view. But the race leader at the moment still Paul Hughes. There's John Mickle. He's in 2nd. But he'll have to keep his wits about him because Tick Stewart is on the pace, and there's Darren Hills taking a little bit of dirt tracking on board. There is Tick Stewart. He's in the dark coloured car behind that bright liveried red. The sunshine here at Brands in this late afternoon is glorious, and so is the racing action. Look at the slow men keeping out the way, thinking, I'm not getting involved in this. Are they mad? Tick Stewart this time, though, will go on the outside of Mickle, and Mickle couldn't repay the challenge that Tick Stewart fostered. The slower car there is Steve Pearce making his debut. Look, this is that incident up at Druids. Well, it looked like Mike Ives contacted Sean McLaughlin. Behind, Tick Stewart has nowhere to go, as Steve Thompson. Look at the cars past Thompson left and right. He spins it round. There's McLaughlin languishing on the grass. He's actually beached up there, and the marshals will go to his rescue. But that was the incident that occurred up at the Druids hairpin on lap 3. Well, we're back now, lap 6, and Paul Hughes leading, and Stewart has gone through. So Tick Stewart, we saw him go through. There's Steve Pearce, the newcomer. Very pretty car, that, the Chevy. And look at Thompson, the body language says it all. I'm worried about that engine. He's absolutely screaming it. Look at the rev counter. You can see the rev limiter there, right in front of him. He's wringing every ounce of brake horsepower he can get out of that machine, and these have got 250 brake horsepower per tonne. They obviously don't weigh that much, but it's a huge amount of power going through those big BF Goodrich tyres. Here is Darren Hills to the inside. Gary Thomas is sneaking up behind him. Gary Thomas, another who could help his ambitions by getting a good points victory here, but the second place man now, Tick Stewart, bearing down on the race leader, who is Paul Hughes. He's in the 1 car, and they all stream their way through. There's Hills in 21. Gary Thomas behind him, a group of 4 of them behind, led at the moment as they are. Well, in fact, that's Dave Cox and Ian Pye in what I lovingly refer to as the Anthill Mob Machine. Look at Tick Stewart locking up a brake at the apex of the corner. Now, is he trying, or is he trying? Into the closing stages. Look at the amount of curve he takes through Surtees. Oh, he almost lost it. Put the oversteer on. Hang on there, Ticky boy. Well, he did hang on, but only just. It's a good job there's some track. Let's just have a look at that again. Sideways motoring in a Legend. Don't you just love to watch a craftsman at work? And Stewart hangs on in 2nd, but that may have cost him as we get into the closing stages. It may have cost him a chance of reeling in. Well, Hughes, there's only about 7 or 8 car lengths between those two, and Tick Stewart is doing everything to reduce that margin. Here's Steve Thompson through Paddock Hill Bend to the inside of Mike Ives. His engine's gone! Oh my word, Steve Thompson's blown his engine on the last lap. Oh, what bitter disappointment. The two Team Brass cars parked up and the entrance to Druids. But in the final stages, no worries for this man Paul Hughes at the moment. A victory in race 2 courtesy of the black and yellows. That's not to take it away from him. He may well have gone on to score that anyway. Tick Stewart looks set fair for second, but can he do to Hughes what Thompson did to him in the opening race? Well, he's run a little bit wide. He's trying to get on terms to try and get a draft up across the line, but Hughes knows he's done enough. To the checkered flag he comes to take his second victory of 2 encounters and to increase his margin at the top of the championship standings. Great drive by Paul Hughes. Started on the anti-penultimate row of the grid and celebrates a bit of showboating as he goes through Paddock and up the hill. Well comes Hughesy, thumbs up to the marshals, wave to the crowd. Delighted for him. And they're still fighting out for positions, and Sean McLaughlin comes through to secure himself what should give him 3rd overall. Yes, there's the confirmation. Sean McLaughlin does enough to get 3rd overall. 2nd overall, though, going to Tick Stewart. But there's the man of the moment, Paul Hughes, atop the point standings. And in the championship, same thing goes. Paul Hughes leads, with Thompson and McLaughlin not too far behind, and Stewart closing. Well, the legends have been terrific here on the fast tracks. Join us next time for more action. But let's leave you with a summary of some of the high spots of today's Brands Hatch action.